Hi, welcome back to Making It with Mingland. Today is Monday. It is the day after Mother's Day in the United States. So I hope all you mothers had a wonderful Mother's Day. I was blessed to be able to spend time with both of my children. Um, my mother and my mother-in-law are both gone, and it was nice to have that special time. So I'm grateful for that. I had someone to ask me in the comments on the last stream how I would attach my envelope journals, and I have two different examples that I have done. This is the small one. This is mostly envelopes that have been folded in half. Um, I did add a few flips and I've got pockets. But what I did with this one, I went ahead and made it very similar to a standard journal. And once I get over to that part of it, I will show you. I'll get to the center here. All right. If you'll see, I just took my awl and I punched 3 holes, and I just put, threaded it that way. So that's holding it together. You have the option of gluing the flaps to another page or gluing them that way. This was what I wanted to do for this small journal, and I just took washi tape and did most of the decorating with this. It's all nature, it's animals, butterflies, flowers, just things that inspire me, really. But I thought that the colors kind of went, and yeah, so that's what I did. And I've got a lot of these cards. I picked these up at Habitat for Humanity store here in my local town. And there was a tub full of them. And some of them had never even been taken out of the wrapper. Well, they're a little bit too clean for me, but I did grunge them up. I used a little bit of color on the plate and grunged them up a little bit. Some of them are not, have a little bit of distress on them already, but I paid $5 for it was probably $300 worth of product. If I had paid full price for every pack I got, it would not have been a cheap trip. Now that is the small one. The big one, I did a flip through with you before I had put the ephemera in. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I put the same type of binding on it. Go to the center, you make 3 holes, and I did not measure, I just eyeballed it. And I like to put something, when you go to make those, for me, it seems to be more functional when I kind of hold my, if I can find it, I know it's in here. Wait a minute. Should have opened it first. There we go. It was blending in with the page. Okay, so I did glue my envelopes together before I did this part. And like I said, just find the center, and do as much space as you need. Now, if you have a lot of different size envelopes in this, you by all means want to have these stitches to catch so that it's going to be nice and firm, and you're not going to get very much shifting around. Now, what I did on this for the cover, this is the one that the cover is made from a large envelope, and then I inserted one of the padded envelopes from Amazon inside it. For my ribbon, I put a eyelet. I'm thinking eyelid, and I know that's not right, but my brain plays tricks on me. I put an eyelet in, and then I had some ribbon that came off of a box of candy or some kind of gift. I don't know who Millennium Whittemere is, but the ribbon was nice and handy. So I fed that through, and what I can do at this point is wrap it around and then come here to tie it. Now, one thing that you need to do when you do that, you just thread a loop through the eyelet. Let me loosen it so you can maybe see it better. I think I've got the camera pretty good as far as getting it in the screenshot. We're learning things. People are teaching me, so I'm so grateful for people that are giving me tips and hints and helpful information. But I love the comments too, don't get me wrong. If you had something bad to say, I'd rather you say it to me than somebody else. Then I can fix the problem. All right. So here's what we have. I had tied a knot in it after I had threaded it through. A knot, a knot, a knot. I should say, well, why not? And be silly. Thank you, little hands, for doing your job today. You did a fine job. So, you see, I looped it and pushed it through. Okay? And then I brought the ribbon up. And do not tighten it just yet, okay? If you will kind of play with it, like do it loosely so that you can play with it and get it adjusted to where it's about even when you come over to tie it. If you do it without doing that, you end up with too much stuff. Just too much. So I'll show you quickly the ephemera I've added. This is a playing card that I found at the thrift store. I thought these were beautiful, and they're in my colors, so never fear, Darcy. One of them's in your colors. And you saw this that I had made. This is one of the journal cards out of the memory makers, memory keepers, whatever it is. And I did some, that is pasta pen. And it's just about dead. I've had it for almost 2 years. So it has held out pretty good. I did some more Posca pen here. This is another one of those cards, and this one I felt okay just leaving it because it blended with both pages. It really didn't need anything added to it, so I was okay with that. Alright, here I have a pocket, and I just added a tab from some of the scrap envelope where I cut off some of them. And I will tell you, I'm going to be able to cut little round places in these because my youngest daughter, I sent her a text and I said, Mommy wants these. And she ordered them for me. It was a set from one of the channels I like to watch. And they have a store. So I opened it and I said, wait, I don't think I said anything about these. And she had done it late at night and was getting sleepy, but wanted to make sure she ordered it because it was only two sets left. And it was a set of 3, and it was the really good ones that hold up. And she also ordered me something that she thought was really cute. So I thought that was hilarious. I said, I don't think I had that on the list, honey. But they do send me things when they find something they want. If it's close to their birthday or holidays, you know, they'll send something. So I felt like, you know, I'm gonna tell her I want these. Home. There's no place like home. I can think about home, and the first thing that comes to mind is the house I grew up in, and coming home at the end of a long day at school and smelling, I know this is going to sound silly, but I would smell like vegetable soup or pinto beans. Those two things hold the strongest memories in my mind. Because I loved both. I knew if we were having pinto beans, we were having cornbread. And my mom made the best cornbread ever. She just had a knack for it. Never used a recipe. And none of us can make it like she did. We miss it too. And potato salad. She was like the queen of potato salad. But my niece is getting pretty close, so. Because these were some of those out of the the box that I got at the huge amount of stuff. I mean, it literally fills up a travel size suitcase, and I paid $5 for it. So you're talking about somebody being grateful. This is a journal card I made from a picture out of a magazine, and I did not put that face there. It was part of the decorations. It was like magnolias, but I thought that was hysterically funny. This is another pre-made card, so you don't have to go out of your way to do anything extravagant. You can keep these things pretty simple. And that's another one that I did. Let's see, this I think might have been, yeah, I think Eddie sent me this piece. I think this might have been a scrap from Eddie. If I did it, I'm proud of myself if I made that, but I'm thinking it might have been Eddie. I should have written initials on it, but you get so much stuff, it's hard to keep up. Now this tag, I cut it down for size, but look at the colors. I mean, it just blended perfectly. And turn it this way. And if you hear laughing, my daughter works from home and she's working, which is kind of funny. It's funny to hear her laugh at work. But she does work with nice people. That's always a good thing. Now this one opens from the top, and I had this little piece right here that was off of an envelope. The stripes came from an envelope flap, and I had I had cut them off of the envelope. I didn't need them. So there you go. This was an easy journal to make. It was quick and easy. There are no rules, and I think that that's what makes it so wonderful. Now, if you still feel intimidated, let me show you what I've come up with. And I will put the hashtag in my remarks. I'll put the hashtag in. Darcy started this, and lots of people have come along to participate in it. And there are many, many, many videos out there now. But I want you to realize that you do not have to do it like everybody else. You can do it the way that's going to be the most logical for you. Now, I was thinking about the cat journal. I have two journals that I'm working on. One is the cat journal, which I've got the cover made for it. But in 2 weeks, I will be going to a conference, and I need to have a journal, especially for that conference, that's going to be donated. And it's going to be a mushroom journal. And I thought about all these beautiful envelopes that I had already done. And I thought, well, gosh, if I could use those, I would be kind of ahead and not behind. I mean, last year, by this time, I already had it made. But, life happens, and we have to roll with the punches sometimes. So I'm just going to set this little short one to the side. Be aware that if my husband, when he opens them, I think I told you, he opens them across with a not a letter opener, but it's one of the little knife things. So it is a letter opener, but it's not a long, fancy one. Me, I try to open them by the flaps because I know what I can do with the flaps. But this one, I have glued it on the ends. And if you do that before you get to that part of the envelope and you decide you're going to make it a pocket right here, this piece right here has got a lot of parts that come together, and they're not always glued securely. So if you're going to glue this to the piece behind it, secure this middle piece and secure that one to the very back of the envelope, because that way you're going to get a little bit of a sturdier connection. Okay, now this one is going to be a pocket, and there will be a mushroom popped in that pocket. So the other thing I want to show you is, if you take the sizes, if you're not one to sit and figure out how you want to do your journal with the envelopes, this I think is your easy out. You can take and match up your similar envelopes. You can put one piece inside and glue it down, and the other piece put on the outside and glue it to the back of the other. that has made a page, a folding page for a journal, okay? I don't have to do anything else to it. I have a pocket here. I have a pocket here. This page is done, okay? I don't have to do anything else to it. This is legal envelopes. And there again, you know, I tear my envelopes open. So this one, I was able to use the flap. But the one here, it was ugly. So I just folded it over and glued this one to it. Now what will I do with it then? I've got one pocket. I've got, if I cut this piece across here, I can put a tuck in here. So that's another journal page. Here you see my pattern for my mushrooms. I've got mushroom stencils. I have mushroom stamps. And this mushroom was made out of a Kleenex box. And I think it's probably pretty cool as it is. I may come back over it and put some gesso here and put some a tea bag, you know, to get the mushroom color for the stem. But it depends on how quickly I get this together, because I've got table decorations to make too, and the parts for those just come in. So I set up here yesterday cutting, just for a little bit, cutting some stuff. That's a playing card. I'm making these to go on the table there, and these are some that I made out of that card you saw earlier, and those are going to be part of the table decorations. You see, I didn't shake them all out. I was kind of auditioning some pieces. So here is just a standard gift envelope, or these particular ones were Christmas envelopes. And I was playing downstairs and glued them together. And so when I started putting color on them, I just said, okay, I'm keeping these boys together because this is doing all right. These are legal size envelopes. If you pay your bills online, you end up with, and you don't get all your bills sent to you by email, if they physically mail them, you've got opportunities to recover those from the recycle bin. And this one, I think this is the one. No, yeah, this is the one. This is the mushroom I'm going to put with this. And then I'll probably put it up high on this one because I've got a pocket here. But I can, if it's glued completely shut, I can either make the pocket here or here. And that's a little bit of a shortcut for me. Now I can still integrate gel prints with it. I can integrate tea-dyed papers. I can integrate whatever I want and still let this be the primary base for it. Now this one is a little weird and wonky. It is, let's see, it is a Medicare envelope. No, Social Security. Okay, it was a Social Security statement. So, you know, it's not a standard size envelope, but I didn't like the ends of it. And I thought, well, what can I do with that? So I attached, in a weird kind of way, I attached two legal size envelopes. So I have a fold out. So I have two pockets. Now it could have more pockets here, depending on how I decide to address this. I could cut this across, and I could have, you know, two pockets. But if I do that, I'm going to want to seal down the middle of this because it's going to get weak. But hey, look at that. It works. It somehow magically works. I hope you're getting ideas, because when I started playing with them, I thought, hey, you know, this is making sense for me because I do like that cracker box journal that was tall and not narrow. I really thought it was kind of cool. So, you know, this put me in the mind of that. It's very close in size. And you've seen that before. I think we've looked at those a couple of times. Now these are missized, but I was getting down to the bottom. And I said, you know, I can do that. Now, if it bothers you that they're not the same size, what are you going to do about it? You can take gel prints and add at the top and at the bottom. You can, you know, do whatever you need to do to extend it. And you see some of them have the addresses on them. Now, when I finish with it, you're not going to see addresses. Some of them actually have my personal address on it. So, you know, I'm certainly not going to send that out into the world. So I will have that completely covered. Now, this envelope. When I looked at it, I thought, I'm not too pleased with it. It was just something about this one right here. I just didn't care for it. But when I added this to these, started gluing these like this, you know, it made that interesting shape. And then I found this card and I cut it. So that is my mushroom that's going to go on this. Now what I think I'm going to do is just put, where this strip is right here, I'm going to take a piece of something about that width and I'm going to make it to where it inserts just into that pocket. I think it's going to work. This will probably get, I'll probably use this pocket. I will use that pocket. So I will cover this part up with something. It may be a mushroom. It may be something that's Alice in Wonderland themed, because that's what our ending end of the conference dinner is, a costume party, and it's going to be themed Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So we're excited about that, and I'm having fun making little mushroom little trinkets and things. So, you know, wild and crazy suits this gang of people. And then this one, I had played with it at some point. This was an envelope that my daughter had gotten a birthday card in, and she said she didn't want it, and I said okay. So I started playing with it, and I used the flap and I added some color to it, and then I added it to this strong envelope. And this one is going to be a very good, make very good strong pockets. And that is kind of the reason that I'm thinking that it will go in the middle. I don't know about you, but I do like, if I have a very sturdy piece in the middle, I try to consciously make an effort to put a good, strong, well-suited piece, even if it's a little piece. I always try to start my stitches to where it goes just right over it, so that it has a stitch on each side, and it just makes it stronger. So this is going to be an envelope book with a Mingus twist. So I hope that you've enjoyed this stream. If you have, please hit the thumbs up for me, and you know, I welcome everybody to comment. If you see something you like or dislike, I would rather you tell me so that I can learn from that. And I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate all the people that have come out to support my channel. I wish you all to be well and to have a wonderful day, and I will be thinking about you until the next time. Bye-bye.